What's good, my boy? I recently heard in this Jeff Bezos podcast on Lex Friedman him make this statement about how there's 1,000 ways to be smart and how he had to kind of give up physics because one person he had this equation he was working on for like 3 days or something, and he goes to this one guy and the guy just does it in like fucking 5 minutes, like five or less than 5 minutes. The answer to the problem just comes to his head, and he realized that he's not the best physicist, but he's a great inventor. And I feel like if you look at this metaphor, this can be universally applied to everybody's life and positively affect them. Think think there's 1,000 ways to be smart. We think of being smart, we think of doing great things, we think of success, we think of all of these external forces as black and white for the most part. Whenever it comes to success, we normally view it as someone who has lots of money or recognition in society. Whenever we think of someone who is happy or someone who is very skilled in, like, let's say, music, we think of someone at the very upper echelon or something like this. Or it's not black and white, bro. None of it is black and white. We think of very, very smart people. We might not even think of like artist people as very smart. We'll think of like scientists and mathematicians and maybe writers. We think of these people as like really, really fucking smart who are figuring out all these problems. But we forget to take into consideration everything you do involves problem solving, involves a level of smartness, if you will. Okay? And it's all on an individual scale of what you're naturally inclined to do through your interests. We we find a lot of things interesting and fascinating, and for me, I've been pulled in different directions and swayed towards business, online entrepreneurship, then to music, then to painting, then to science and writing, and just all of these different things. And I've kind of allowed myself to flow into these different ways just to explore them and to see if they're right for me. And I've recently kind of nestled myself into my couple. Like, I'm a general contractor and I build houses for people. I love starting with grass plot of land, and there you go. You got a whole fucking house a family can live in for years and years and years. As well as I like doing oil paintings, as well as I like making music. And I'm not a fucking genius scientist. I'm not a philosopher. I'm not uh, a great writer. I'm not a lot of other things that I find interesting. I'm not a great online business person like I wanted to be at one point. But the reason why I'm alright with that is because I realized why I wanted those things to begin with. Why I wanted these external things that weren't naturally inclined to my brain. Weren't my strong suits, if you will. And it all comes down to FOMO. You have so many fear of missing out. You have so many people nowadays online who make money playing like your little puppet, little Pinocchio boy. They play you like a puppet with fear of missing out. Like, let's say Andrew Tate, for instance. He'll say all these things that make sense, that resonate with you, and then he'll like try to dictate your life by saying, like, if you aren't taking advantage of the online digital age, you're missing out, bro. You're fucking retarded. You're a loser. And I see so many other influencers that say similar things. But what if you just want to make art? What if you just want to live a simple life building houses, working construction in your small little town community? What about these things that have been around for thousands of years that people have been respected for? We get caught up in this black and white thing of success being like lots of money, lots of recognition. What about success of completing something? What about individual success in your own mind, feeling like you're adequate? You're not going to feel adequate whenever you're not living truthful to yourself. And I know the whole Jeff Bezos thing he said was a little less stringent as what I'm getting at here. It was more along the lines of him just realizing that he could still be smart and is with not doing physics. But that's the whole point. A lot of people feel like they're missing out on their own brain, or missing out by not pursuing these things that are super popular nowadays. But fuck that shit, bro. I made a video in my last video, fucking online business, make art. Do what intuitively, in your intuition, in your heart, you want to be doing. If you don't follow your own truth in this life, if you follow another man's outlined path for you, not only are you kind of gay, not only are you weak, not only are you living a lie, that's it. You're just living a fucking lie, bro, if you do shit like that. You got to put down this thought of, oh, I have to do this or I won't be like this. Fuck that shit, bro. You can make this shit your own reality. Find what you love. You see, so many of these people talk about purpose. So many young men nowadays feel purposeless. I used to feel purposeless. But you know why I felt purposeless? It's because these people gave me a definition of things that are purposeful paths, like online entrepreneurship, drop shipping, fucking cryptocurrency. And I pursued them, and I felt meaningless. I felt like I lacked purpose because I did. There was no purpose to my pursuit. You get what I'm saying? If you follow something that is hollow and holds no purpose and has no meaning to it, except for the fact that you want to be like someone else, you will feel depressed, okay? So many people feeling lost and depressed. This is your intuition, your body telling you you're not doing what you need to be doing. You're not pursuing things. And see how I just said that, and it might have sounded a little bit profound? Maybe I'm just tooting my own horn here. But to me, whenever I first heard this, it sounded profound. Depression being like your heart's compass or something like that. These influencers will say shit like that just as well. But then they'll tie in all their own self-beliefs of what you should be doing and shit on top of it. And that's not how it works, bro. There's 1,000 ways to be smart. There are 1,000 things that you can do that are cool and interesting and unique to you. And with the internet, instead of trying to fucking drop ship or buy these courses like these people sell you or their books, figure it out. Problem solve with your own brain. I promise you, whatever little niche thing you love, there's a way to figure it out on your own. Okay? I promise. There's fucking people who specialize in building fish tanks. Motherfucker. There are people who specialize in building fish tanks. There's people who specialize in building flower bouquets made out of fruit. There are people who specialize on different types of grass. There are people who specialize on making journals. There are people who specialize on customizing clothing. There are people who specialize on art. There are people who specialize on thousands of different things. And once you realize that, and realize you can nestle yourself into your own unique little situation, and also find a way to monetize it where you're not stressing. And hey, here's the thing. Here's one of the biggest things. Quit allowing these people to tell you, oh, you gotta quit your job and do all this shit, bro. Find what you love doing. I can't tell you what that is. This is the reason why I don't have a course. What I say might be generic, and the reason why it's generic is because it's what universally fucking works and applies in every single field. Find what you like. Whatever interests you. I know right now there is something that you're inclined to doing that you actually enjoy, that you could repeat over and over and over, and making it success, the best life you could ever have, is finding something that you would do even if you weren't paid to do it. For me, whenever I do oil paintings, I get a level of self-expression that is unlike anything I've ever experienced in my life. Same with making music and oil painting, there's like this thing that happens with creative ventures. It's kind of, I guess it's what you call creativity, but you know how whenever you make food, you experiment with different spices to see what you like and different sauces. That's how creativity works, bro, with whatever field you're in. Say you got like, I'll use an oil painting as an example. Say I'm gonna paint this person, and as long as you allow yourself to add things to it however you feel, the things that come to it are crazy. Hold on. Let me grab something real quick and I can explain this best. Now, you might not like this, okay? This is what I painted. This is something I painted. It's Kanye West, okay? Now, it's kind of hard to interpret because this is the salt and pepper. This is how I can explain salt and pepper, okay? I said I want to paint Kanye West, right? So, I have a portrait of Kanye. It's not the best. I really need to redo it because it was whenever I wasn't that good at portraiture. But all of a sudden, this salt and pepper creative thing started coming into my mind. What if I, instead of painting him straight, what if I flip his head upside down like it is and make it like he's a light bulb plugging into the sky? Okay? You see how you understand how this shit works? And then all these other seasonings, if you will, elements started coming to me to add to it. What if I make like the light or shit coming on inside of his head? That's what that is. And then he's illuminating, people dancing, people celebrating underneath the light. And then on top of it, I just started adding in all these elements. Like I drew My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. I drew the Yeezus. I put a cross in there because of God. I wrote his fucking name down. I did the graduation bear. I wrote graduation on the fucking side of it. 808s. All these things start coming to you, and that's how you know. See how passionately I'm speaking about this? Same with my music. If I played you my music, and you heard all these different elements, me adding in I can do this with the drums. I can add this little note. If I play this sequence of notes, it's like a little riff. What if I put this effect on it? If you can find something, or you get this level of cogs turning in your brain, that is success, bro. And you complete it, that is success, bro. There's no feeling like it. If I posted this picture and I got 5 views, I wouldn't give a fuck because I love what I created. Do you understand? The black and white meaning of success does not matter at all anymore. There are 1,000 ways to be smart. I believe that a physicist has that same... You see how I was explaining how all those ideas were coming out of me? I believe a physicist or a scientist is the same way. Whenever they're thinking of an equation or trying to problem solve the answer to something or doing chemistry, they're like, what if I do this? What if I do this? And you apply fundamentals that you learn. Like, I knew I was going to add certain levels of light to his face because fundamentally that's how you make a 3D realistic image. I knew I was going to kind of outline and shadow certain things because that's kind of how you add certain effects. I know that there's certain things that I can play, and I know I'm going to play my drums in time because that's how it sounds good. Same thing with a business. You start thinking of, say you're designing your logo, say you're designing your package for your product, say you're designing any of these things, these little salt and pepper, that I call it, come to you. And that is intelligence. That is creativity. Don't really know where it comes from. you could start talking about glukes and whatever the fuck neurons in your brain. But realistically, that is like a magical experience whenever you do it with something that you truly love. So, to keep this video from being 1,000 minutes long, let's just wrap this shit up. There are 1,000 ways to be smart. Do not let people play on your fear of missing out by telling you that you are missing out by not doing this and doing that. Because fuck that noise, okay? Fuck that noise. Do what you like. Do what inspires your passion like that just did to me. Am I the best painter? No. Am I the best musician? No. Am I the best builder of houses and best construction person? No. But, it's the biggest but. This is the main takeaway. I do what I like. What inspires me like that. What gets my fucking cogs turning. And it's my own individual intelligence that I get to put on display. And I get to craft and work towards. And if you can find that, it doesn't have to just be, don't listen to these fucking people who say, jack of all trades, master of none, just do one thing, just do one thing. I promise you can be a millionaire if you just do one thing. Maybe you're not interested in just one thing. Be fucking Da Vinci, bro. These motherfuckers sitting here, you think Leonardo da Vinci is less than Andrew Tate or one of these fucking niche bros that are like, you have to find one specific niche and monetize it. Fuck that, bro. Be Da Vinci. Da Vinci's been respected and researched for hundreds of years. You know why? You know why Da Vinci is so respected? Anybody that dedicates their life to art could paint the Mona Lisa. People have made copies of it. They could paint the Last Supper. They could paint these fucking paintings. But you know what makes Da Vinci so interesting? It isn't his paintings. It isn't one individual thing. It's how he was such a fascinating person for doing all of these different things. He had like 20 different interests. He was interested in building inventions to fly, inventions for war, math. He would fucking study nature and biology. Multifaceted, multi-skilled person. There are 1,000 ways to be smart. Do not stifle your own potential from someone else's expectation. Chase paper, enjoy art and nature. Have a good one, my boy.